Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're interested in life coaching and mentoring, go to my website, skyazrael.com. Let's get into today's topic. I want to talk about rejection. Rejection is a big deal. It's tough. It really is a tough thing to get over. It traumatizes people. It's not the easiest thing for me to talk about, simply since I've gone through it so many times. I've been rejected in so many different ways. I think the two most painful forms of rejection that I've gone through repeatedly are in the areas of love and in business. Trying to find love, trying to keep love, trying to find a career, trying to keep a career path going. Let's start with business first, get that out of the way. I've had countless experiences of being rejected on job interviews. I'll tell you a funny one. I was living in Los Angeles and I was going to the community college. I was trying to get my shit together in a lot of ways, mind, body, and soul. I had started that whole lifestyle. And I got interested in the classes that I was taking in broadcasting. And I took the broadcasting class. They have a whole broadcasting department. And I started taking classes to be on the radio. I figured maybe I could get a shot on the college radio station, but I quickly found out about a job interview up at K-Rock. KROQ, the biggest rock and roll radio station in Los Angeles, and their corporate offices are out in North Hollywood. And so I drove up there over the hill and went for the interview. Now, I was from the streets. I'm not used to going on job interviews. I had been on job interviews before. I'd had jobs before, but never anything of this quality or caliber. This is a career. And I thought that maybe I'd be the next Howard Stern. You know, why not? I'd always had dreams of being on the radio. Ever since I was a kid, I thought that would be a fun job to have. My roommate, he had a suit. He's very similar to size to me, and he said, hey, you should wear my suit. People wear suits on job interviews. This is a corporate scene. And he talked me into wearing a suit. So I wore the suit. I get up to the job interview, go through the interview, and it was a chick, and she was the head of the music department. And I thought I had done really well during the interview, and it seemed to me like, well, hey, so when do I start? And she had to stop me, and she was like, you know, I like you a lot. Talking to you, you know, you seem like an interesting guy. You have a great voice. You'd fit in well with the music department in some ways, but there's one huge way which you don't fit in, and we don't really think that you're gonna work here at this organization, and I have to tell you that we're not gonna hire you. And I was like, what? You know, I thought this went so well. And she said, you know, you just come across as being a little uptight. I'm like, uptight? What are you talking about? I mean, my name is Sky. My family are hippies. I hang out with fucking rock stars. What do you mean I'm uptight? I smoke pot and get drunk all day. What are you talking about? How could I be uptight? And she said, well, look at you. You're in that suit. Everybody else in this entire building, I don't know if you've noticed, everybody else in the entire building, and it's a high-rise building, she says, everybody else here is wearing jeans, t-shirts, shorts, flip-flops. And here you are, Mr. Businessman. You just don't fit in. You come across, she called me Alex P. Keaton from an old TV show. Some of you older guys may recognize that reference. She was like, you just come across as kind of a nerd, and I don't mean this offensive. I know that it sounds rude, but I just don't think that you're right for this. So that was the interview, and I walked out of there devastated. Like, what? I can understand if I didn't have a resume skill. So I've never worked in radio before. You know, I can understand if there was something about my skill set. But she just didn't like the suit. And I was like, fuck, man, this isn't even my suit. I don't even own a suit. I don't even wear a suit to court. I don't wear a suit to weddings. I wore this suit this one time and it ruined me. I was so mad at my roommate, but it had nothing to do with him. You just have to move on from rejection. But I took that really hard. Funny thing was, I was so butthurt about that I stayed up all night pissed. And I worked on my motorcycle. I had a project out front. The bike that I had bought, it was a Yamaha Virago. And I was turning it into a chopper. Little Yamaha chopper. And they have a cool little V-twin engine, even though it's shaft drive. And I got pretty far on that project that night. Stayed up angry. Fuck those motherfuckers. Fuck them for rejecting me. Telling me this, telling me that. Just pissed, working on that bike. The next day, my neighbor came by and told me that the bike is artwork. He's like, what you do is art. And he's like, as soon as you're done with that bike, I'll buy it off you for whatever you want. Just let me know. You need the money now? I'll give it to you right now. I never thought about that fucking job at K-Rock again. I was just like, motorcycles, here's what I'm doing. Fuck being a DJ. You may be laughing. For those of you that don't know, I've owned a motorcycle shop now for 22 years. We've worldwide attention. We've been incredibly successful. So you never know. You have to thank your rejections. I've been rejected by women, and I've had to thank that too. My dream girl. You ever had a dream girl? It's a bullshit fantasy. But I met my dream girl. We were Adam and Eve. We were made by God and put here on earth to find each other. We had been lost souls for thousands of lives, and we finally reconnected and blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. Oh, but we believed it. And I gave her a ring, got on my knees and I didn't buy it, I stole it. I gave her a ring the size of a diamond ring size of a basketball. She said yes. A year and a half later, we broke up. Horrible, horrible, devastating breakup. And she rejected me hard. Was mean too, really mean to me. Said all kinds of nasty things to me, made me feel real bad. I felt worthless. I used to be a really cool dude. After that relationship, I was a loser. What got me over that relationship was not caring, detachment. I spent a while caring and crying and sobbing and isolating, self-isolating, and telling myself I'm done with women and all that shit. And that didn't work out really well. All it did was drive me further into drug abuse, alcohol addiction. I didn't even want to go get a job. I didn't want to hang out with people. I didn't want another girlfriend. I didn't want friends. I started being self-destructive. Was just angry, committing a lot of crimes, almost hoping that I'd get a big case. Send me away for 20, 30 years. What do I care? You want me to be a monster? I'll show you what a monster is. And I eventually got sick of it. I found myself alone with no more friends. Oh yeah, I lost all my friends, except for one. Women no longer liked me. My family no longer liked me. I was just all alone in the world. It was all my choice. This is what I did after a relationship. Became so bitter and angry. And I got to a point where I said, I can't take this anymore. And some of you, when you get to that point saying you can't take this anymore, you grab that pistol and you put it in your mouth and pop. Not me. When I say I can't take this anymore, I got down and started doing push-ups. The first thing I started to do was go to the gym. 7 days a week. I went from nothing to 7 days a week. 7 days a week. 3 hours a day. I got jacked. I instantly blew up. Everybody thought I was on steroids. I had people coming to me being like, Sky, oh man, steroids aren't good and they're going to shrink your nuts and this and that. I'm not on steroids. I'm just working out like a fucking madman. Just taking all this energy and putting it into something positive. And then I started a business. And I started going down the line of rebuilding my life. And that, moving forward, Detaching from the bitch shit and just saying, fuck this, I'm done being sorry, I'm going to move forward. That is what got me over the rejection, the worst rejection I'd ever had. Emotional detachment. Stoicism. Now, you can't get to a place of stoicism just simply through frustration. You have to get to a point of acceptance first. To accept the fact that the relationship is over, that you lost out on that job, to accept that group of friends doesn't want you, to accept your position, to accept the reality. Another step in this is forgiveness. You forgive yourself. We can be down on ourselves. I'm not good enough. I'm not worth enough. Forgive yourself. Just because somebody didn't want to be your friend or your lover or for have you to work there at their radio station, it doesn't mean anything. It's not a statement of you. And forgive yourself for feeling that way, for coming down on yourself. There's a lot going on there. Get rid of that guilt and that shame and the blame. But you also want to forgive the people that reject you, because we don't want to demonize people that reject us. That gives them power. It makes us weaker. It puts them above us, as if we're begging for something that they have. Just forgive them and laugh it off. That person wasn't right for me, and I'm so thankful that I'm no longer deluded with chasing that piece of ass. Thank the Lord she rejected me, because maybe I would have been so drunk off of her pussy that I would have gone out with her longer or gone after her further. Thank you, Lord, for watching over me and steering me in the right direction. So you want to be able to realize that when people reject us, it's really what's going on with them. It's not us. That very often it's not personal. And when you realize it's not personal, it's not a personal attack. It's their own issues, their own deal. It makes it less painful. So be thankful for the rejection. Detach from emotion and laugh at the rejection. Forgive those who reject you. And always remember your plan for survival. I think that's a good place to end this, is that you have to stay goal-driven. And rejections are nothing more than obstacles. It's all food for thought. Thanks for watching.